Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Kevin, and welcome to my little corner of the universe. Today, I'm showing you how to make baklava. If you've never made baklava before and you're like, holy crap, it's a hard process, it's not a hard process. Everything you see up there is all you need, besides the boiling pot, obviously, in the oven. But I'm going to take you step by step, get you all the way through it. So, welcome back with Cooking with Kevin.
So hungry.
So if this is your first time to my channel, welcome back. Thank you for taking time to check out my channel. Subscribe down below. Smash the notification bell. Thumbs up if you liked the video. Thumbs down if you didn't like the video. Leave a comment. Be a good or bad. I'm always going to interact with you no matter what you say. So to start the baklava, we're going to need 2.5 cups of walnuts. I went down to my local Hannaford's and bought some walnuts, and today we're going to do 2.5 cups. So then we're going to grind them up in my little baby food processor because that's all I have. But that will work. It'll take a little bit of time, but we'll get it done. So we're going to measure out the first 2 cups. And you don't have to buy the whole 2-pound pack or the 1-pound package of walnuts like I did. But that'll give you some to snack on while you're doing your stuff. So walnuts go in. Now we're not looking to dust them. We're looking to just grind them up and make them into bite size. So we're going to pulse it. Shake it. Pulse. Until we have uniform sized bites and chunks. Share a video with my soon-to-be wife. I'm making this for her parents for Easter. This baklava. So she probably knows about it now. So if you're watching this, Mary Ann, before I put it on YouTube, I'll be over a little bit later to give you some baklava. So, funny story about baklava, it's a pretty old dish, and there's a lot of arguments on where it comes from. A lot of people say that the ancient Assyrians, back in 800 BC, or 800 BC, invented this dish. The Romans claim that they invented it. The Greeks claim that they invented it. And the Ottoman Empire, or what is left of modern-day Persia, is also claimed that they have it, or invented it. So baklava has a pretty old tradition wherever it comes from, and it's well received by a lot of people and well liked. And if it was the Ottoman Empire that invented it, it's the only good thing that ever came out of that empire. If the Greeks invented it, God love them. Remember, a good chef always cleans up after themselves. So that's what we're doing now. So, we're done processing the nuts, we can get rid of the food processor. So, with your nuts now, you're going to take cinnamon. A lot of people also argue you can put more than just walnuts in. If you want to put pistachios in, you can. You want to put cashews in. You can put whatever you want. You can make your baklava however you want to make it. So, now that the walnuts are all mixed up and crushed, we're going to take cinnamon. We're going to do 1.5 tablespoons of cinnamon. Then we're going to mix it inside the walnuts before we start layering. Pardon me for being left-handed, everybody. So 1 tablespoon, and then we're going to do a half of one of that. And that's it. The other thing I like to do, that most people don't do, but I like it, and like I said, you can make it however you want to make it. And I like to take a little pinch of sugar and mix it in with the walnuts as well. Alright, so walnuts are done. We're going to mix that up. Oh, I wish you could smell those. Okay, so that's done. So with your phyllo dough, what you're going to want to do, I went out and bought store-bought phyllo dough. It is a lot easier than making it. You can make it yourself if you want, but making phyllo dough is no trick. Alright, so what we're going to do is we want to butter line the side of the pan so our dough does not stick when we're using it. And then we're going to have to melt some butter. Once the butter's melted, I'll show you the next steps. But this I wanted to show you. Don't use a spray pan or a spray aerosol in this pan when you're doing your baklava. Those aerosols leave a really nasty flavor when you cook with them. So I take unsalted butter, or salted, it's your choice, and I just rub the pan. Just coat the sides, the backs, the tops, the bottoms. And I'll take this butter, melt it down, and we'll use that for our base for our phyllo dough. But this will make the phyllo dough on the bottom nice and crisp. It'll give it a nice buttery flavor. It'll contrast with all that sweetness. Alright, be right back. Once our butter's melted, we're going to open up phyllo dough. We're going to pull it out. We want to work fast with phyllo dough. Phyllo dough tends to dry out. And when it dries out, it's hard to work with. It gets bitter and it breaks. So we're going to work quick with this. First thing we're going to want to do, get our phyllo dough all stretched out. Then we're going to take 3 or 4 of these little strands. Here's 3. Here's 4. And we're going to take 4. Make sure we have 4. And not like 15. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to take 4. I'm going to put it in the bottom of the pan. Just like that. Alright. So, butter. We're going to keep repeating the process. And trust me, we're going to use all that butter. If you're curious, we used a stick of butter. I used salted in my case. You can use unsalted. I just think the salt adds a little bit of I think salt brings out the flavor in everything. So we got that part painted up. I'm going to put in some more nuts. And now about a third, quarter. It's up to you on how much you want. Then we're going to go with 2 more layers, maybe 2 or 3 layers, it's up to you. You want your dough thick, you want your dough thin. Now I went with 3 layers on that one, so that's a little thicker for my middle. So now I'm going to put a little extra butter in there to soften that up. So we're going to take the rest of our butter, and we're going to brush it over the baklava. You want to saturate all the layers of the phyllo dough. So now the baklava is all done, right? We're going to take a knife. This knife was given to me by my Uncle Eddie. If I don't know if you can see that or not, but that is a Damascus on that blade. He had it made for my 45th birthday. So we're going to punch through the phyllo dough. You want to cut in diagonal patterns. We want about 1-inch squares. That way everybody can enjoy it. You can cut all the way through. And you can continue the process. All the way through. So once you get that side done, then you're going this way. That's my oven telling me that we're ready to start cooking. Alright, so if your baklava is done, after an hour, you should have something like this. After an hour, all crunchy and dry, which is good. So now we're making sauce. For the sauce, we're using 1.5 cups of sugar, 1/4 cup of honey, and 3/4 cup of water. We're going to take this up to a boil. Once we get this up to a boil, then we're going to immediately take it off the flames after everything's dissolved. We're going to take it off the flame. I'll take the flame and shut the flame completely off. And then we're going to add a splash of nutmeg. And then we're going to add a secret component that I like to add, a little lemon zest. a matter of fact, we'll add lemon zest right now. You don't need much. Zest goes a long way. You just saw what I did, about 3 shakes. We're going to start with that and we're going to taste. Because you can always add more, but you can't take out. Remember that when you're cooking. You can always add more, but you can't take out. And we always constantly want to taste. No, that's the right amount of lemon right there. That's just going to give it that nice airy flavor. Alright, almost everything's dissolved. And wait till it comes up to a boil. We're going to give it 1 touch of nutmeg. Not much. That's it. Nutmeg goes a long way. So, we're almost up to a boil here, right? We're about to shut off our mix. And once our mix goes off, we've let the baklava sit for 5 minutes out of the oven. And now we're going to put all this nice, beautiful, syrupy goodness on it. Alright, so our mixture is hot. And it's boiled. Our baklava is ready. Make sure when you do this in front of somebody, you do it in front of them all so they can see you doing this. Because it just looks damn sexy. You can pour the mixture right over the top of the baklava. Make sure you get it everywhere. Now, Kevin, you might be saying, holy crap, that's a lot of sugar, a lot of water and honey. And for the most part, you would be right, but I actually cut down the normal amount that you use in this recipe. So this is more of like a diet version, to tell you truthfully. Most people would use double this amount. Because we want these nice and gooey, and we're going to let them sit. You cannot touch these until they're room temperature. Don't put them in the fridge because the butter will congeal, and it'll get hard, and it'll be the most disgusting food you ever had. So keep them at room temperature. Yeah. So I give you Kevin's homemade baklava. If this is your first time to my channel and you liked it, put a thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe down below, smash that notification bell, leave a comment down below, be it good, be it bad, I really don't care. I'm always going to interact with you. And wherever you are in the world and whatever you're doing at this moment right now, I hope you all have a smile on your face. And until next time, have a good one. Oh, and here's a funny video for you, so you don't have to watch the outro. I give you permission to skip it. And make sure you share this with the people you love. Until next time.